You start it.
I'm watching the squirrel. Literally. Squirrel.
I think I need a little love. I think I need a little sleep. I think I need a little you. Big empty bed. I've been swimming in my head, been in a rut, but I know what to do.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new, welcome for the first time. This is our welcome to our first Friday video. We will be doing videos on Fridays, hopefully every week.
Hopefully.
Depending on, life. But we plan on doing new videos every Monday and Friday now. And Fridays is a free-for-all. So we'll talk about, various things on Fridays.
This Friday, however, it is a cool new thing that we're gonna do because, everybody does top 10s. It's done, it's overdone. Every YouTube channel out there, whether it's fashion bloggers or travel blog, everybody, they do top 10s. We're gonna be different. What are we doing?
We're gonna do top 9s. So it's time for the top 9. So this week's top 9 is 9 things that you should know if you're going to be driving in California. Number 1, speed limits are only a minimum.
She's looking at me because, well, yeah. So a lot of our roads and stuff like that out here in California, you've got a lot of different speed limits, whether you're in the highway or whether you're in the city. If you're out on the main road like Interstate 5, all the way out like through the rural areas of the middle of California, speed limit is 70. 70 or 75, I can't remember. But everywhere else in California on Interstate 5, the speed limit is 65. If you're towing a trailer or you're driving a truck, it's 55. Nobody does that. The average is 10 to 15 miles per hour over that speed limit. Now, when you're in the city, speed limit, in an area might be 35. Nobody does 35. If you're doing 35, she does. Most of the time. Unless she's in a hurry or has to go to the bathroom. But most of the time, if you're doing the speed limit, people are screaming past you. So, yeah, speed limits are merely a suggestion. And great example, right outside here, right in front of our house, I believe the speed limit is
25.
25 miles per hour. I might actually do 25 miles per hour in a residential area like this because you never know when kids are playing. So I'm really respectful of the residential areas, but I've seen people out here doing 35, 45 easy, just ripping right through.
I've been honked at on the street right in front of our house because I go 25 and there's a stop sign and I actually stop for the stop sign. So I've actually been honked at on the street. So
yeah,
right out in front of our house.
So anyway, all right. So number 2, this is something that she's a huge fan of. 4-way stop is every man for themselves. Man and woman for themselves.
True. In California, people don't know how to do a 4-way stop. Most people under the age of, 50 maybe don't know how to do a 4-way stop. So if a traffic light goes out and is blinking red, all heck breaks loose because it's a free-for-all. People do not know that you should let the person on the left go or whoever was first goes or however, whatever rules there were when you passed driver's ed, those are all out the window now and it's really every man for himself. If it's a 4-way stop sign, same thing. People just, and God forbid if you have to turn because you're taking your life in your hands if you have to turn. So if you are in California and you aren't used to that, be careful on the 4-way stops because it's literally every man for himself. Number 3, parallel parking is a way of life.
She's not wrong. So pretty much everywhere in Southern California, you have to parallel park. And this is specifically Southern California, maybe San Francisco, the big city areas. Because most people don't have driveways. Most people don't have property to be able to park on. So when you go visit friends, family, or other, and you have to park near them, chances are you're parking on the street. So learning to parallel park is really, really important. Well, there's been many times when we go up to visit Ashlyn in LA, and there might be a spot that I can barely fit my truck into, but that's the only spot for blocks. And either I figure it out, get my truck in there, maybe Lynn has to get out to make sure that my hitch isn't going to cause any damage to the car behind me. Or she doesn't, and it does. Those are the risks of parallel parking.
Or parking in general.
Parking in general.
For him.
So.
Don't tell the apartment managers about the wall in our parking spot.
Oops. So, yeah. Parallel parking. Gotta know how to do it if you're going to be visiting any of the major metropolitan areas or the suburbs.
And especially the beaches. If you are planning on bringing your RV or your trailer and you're planning on parking anywhere along any of the beaches in California, it's almost 100% parallel parking, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. So, all right, number 4. And another one of both of Lynn's and my favorite, the long honk.
So everybody drives, right? Everybody drives wherever you live, whether it's California or anywhere else. In most places, if you get honked at, it's, especially if you didn't go when the light turned green, or I don't know, just for whatever reason people decide to honk at you, you're gonna get like the honk, the beep or beep beep. No, in California, there is a thing called the long honk, and it's the ultimate, there's no way to say it, it's the ultimate screw you. It's like I'm pointing out that I'm unhappy with you, and I'm gonna let everybody, that can hear my horn know that I am not happy with you or whatever you just did, so I'm gonna long honk you. There's no beep beep, there's no beep, it's the long honk.
Yeah, literally put your hand on the horn and hold it there until your frustrations have been completely released.
Yep, and even then they sometimes will still long honk you again. As you, like if you cut someone off and they long honk you, as they pass you, they will long honk you again. And it's just the California way of basically saying screw you. And I didn't like what you did. So be wary of the long honk. And if you're like me and some other people that we know, that honk literally just makes me go slower.
Or
not go at
all.
At the green light. Number 5. Stop signs are really pause signs.
Yeah, there's a reason that, and I believe because I've heard people from other states refer to this as well, the California rolling stop. And that is you kind of slow down but not completely come to a dead stop at the stop sign.
Or tap the brakes, your brake lights go on for a split second.
Yeah. And then just keep going. That is 100% a thing. One of the things that I really just absolutely despise, and this happens to be number 6 on our list, is tailgating. And unfortunately, I can't do my favorite thing anymore, which is brake checking. Lynn's going to tell you guys a little bit about that because it really frustrates me.
So if you are going the suggested speed limit that we discussed earlier, chances are you will be tailgated, whether it is on the freeway, the highway, residential street, any road. Chances are if you are going anything less than 10 miles over the speed limit, there's a good chance you're going to get tailgated. And growing up, one of the things that my dad and my brother taught me was a good old brake check. And for those of you who don't know, a brake check is you basically slam on your brakes with the person behind you and they freak out. It's called a brake check. Well, as of January 1st, 2021, brake checks are now illegal in the state of California, which is a total bummer because I love a good brake check. And tailgaters, you get what you get. You reap what you sow, is that what they say? Yeah. I tend to get tailgated a lot because I tend to drive the speed limit or 5 over. So I tend to get tailgated a lot, and I have a small car, so what happens at night is that usually it's a taller car than mine, and so the lights will stick right into my rearview mirror as they're tailgating me because they're that close. So then I have to adjust my mirror so that the lights aren't shining in my eyes. I won't go any faster for someone tailgating me. They can go around. But in California, most tailgaters will not go around.
Yeah.
And if they do go around, we circle back and you get the long honk.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, it's not always necessarily just a brake check. Sometimes it's, you just want to let people know that, hey, get off me. So, like, different things. Like, you could just pump your brakes real quick and then keep going, just so they see those big brake lights light up in front of them, and really makes them think that you are going to slam on your brakes. But yeah, even that apparently is now illegal.
Yeah, so we can't brake check anymore in California, legally anyway.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone see you.
Yeah. And don't forget, everybody's got cameras nowadays in their cars too, so.
Number 7 on our list of things you should know if you're planning on driving in California, be wary of the green light.
Yeah, so much like we were talking about earlier with the stop sign, stop signs as much as a stoplight, just a recommendation, because everybody knows as soon as that light turns yellow, that means speed up. And if that light just happens to turn red while you're approaching it, most people are not going to stop. They're just going to keep going. So number 8 on our 9 things you should know about driving in California is that, and the rest of these up to this point have been kind of like road hazards and stuff like that. Now we're going to get into some road information. Because driving distance in California is not measured in distance. It's measured in time. And highways and freeways and whatever else you want to call them are not referenced by interstate or US highway or anything like that. They're just referenced by the number. So getting directions in California, be ready for it.
So if you drive in California and you ask somebody from California, for us, for instance, if from where we live to LA, could be 13 miles, but we would never say that. If somebody asks you, oh, how far away is LA? We're going to say, oh, it's, 45 minutes depending on traffic. How far is it to the beach? Oh, 35 minutes depending on traffic. The answer is always a time, and it's always depending on traffic.
Yeah. Or it's going to be, well, what time are you leaving?
Yeah. And then the answer will, be according to what time you say. So for instance, if somebody has to go to the LA airport, if I have to take somebody, like I've done many times with Ashlyn, and take her for the first flight out in the morning, we leave at like 4 a.m., it takes us 25 minutes to get to LAX. But if I'm going to go to LAX in the middle of the day, it could take an hour and a half, 2 hours,
Yep.
sometimes more, depending on whether there's an accident or not. So everything in California is measured on time. So be ready for that, because if you ask somebody how far something is, it's not like in the Midwest where it's, they tell you it's 20 miles away or whatever. Here, it's always time. And then if you ask for directions, especially if you're going on a highway or freeway, it's going to be, well, you just need to take the 5 to the 605, to the 110, to the whatever, to get where you're going. And some people aren't used to that. They're used to, oh, it's the freeway, it's the highway, it's the tollway, it's, whatever, depending on where you're from. But in California, it's always just a number. So it's, take the 710 to the 605 and, get off on this street or whatever. That's the way we talk about how you get somewhere in California.
Yeah.
Also, people don't remember street names in California a lot of times. And so they'll tell you, if it's a local thing, oh, you're going to go up this road out here and you're going to turn left at Carl's Jr. and then you're going to turn right at the post office, and it'll be on your left-hand side.
I'm totally guilty of that. There's been many a time where I've given someone directions where I don't exactly know the street, but I know how to get there, and I know landmarks. And that is absolutely a California thing. It might be another place too thing, but for sure, it's a California thing. It's landmarks are huge.
Like, where's the parking for Disney? We get asked that a lot, Oh, well, if you get to the green building, you went too far.
Yeah.
Turn right before the big green building.
Yeah. If you turn down the street where the overpass is.
Something like that. It's never, oh, it's, this is the street,
Yeah.
And that's just that's California. So just be ready for that.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not even talking local either. Like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, oh, hey, I need to, I'm driving up to Sacramento. How far is that? And I looked at them and I was like, oh, it's about 7 hours. No, but how many miles? Oh, I have no clue. I know it's about 7 hours.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's 7 hours worth of miles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So that's California. That's California street lingo.
Yeah.
And number 9, and the last thing on our list of things that you should know if you're going to be driving in California is if you're using a GPS, that arrival time is a game of beat the clock.
Yeah, so if you're driving from someone that lives in California, that's a California native, and you see them pull up their Google Maps, their Apple Maps, or whatever
Waze.
whatever system they're using for navigation, it could be even an old school standalone GPS unit. That time to arrival on there, that's a challenge. Can I beat that time?
Your goal is always to get there before and now the GPS will adjust while you're
Yeah.
driving. It'll add or subtract time based on traffic.
Yeah, but we all keep a mental note
Of the first time.
of the original time.
So if the original time says we're supposed to be somewhere at 2:30, our goal is to be there before. Even if it's 2:29, you still win. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And guys, tell us if any of these are common in anywhere else. Like if you guys are from, New York,
Anywhere.
Florida, Wisconsin, you wherever you guys are watching our videos, tell us if these things are common with you guys as well.
or if you have different ones from where you live that are things that we should know if we're going to drive through your state.
Yeah.
We'd be interested to know what the rules of the road are, so to speak, in other states. So please,
Yeah.
let us know. Or if you are from California, like a lot of our subscribers are, then comment down below with anything we left out about driving in California, because we would love to hear what you guys think we left out.
Yeah, I'd love to know, like in more like rural areas, like maybe like out towards where, like, I guess that would be Pennsylvania and stuff like that, where you guys have to follow the horse and buggies of the Amish. Like, I'd love to know, what are the rules about driving behind a horse and buggy? Can you go around them? Or, like where you guys have cows and stuff like that might be crossing the road. How do you deal with cows in the road? Like, I'm not from these areas, but people are.
Okay, so that's our first Friday video, and those are the top 9 things we think you should know if you're going to be driving in California. Like we said, comment down below with things we left out, things that are, familiar to you in your areas. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you as part of our family. Thank you for everyone who is subscribed. We appreciate each and every one of you. Take care. Stay safe.
Stay positive. Test negative.
Bye.